up against not only three-time champions, but now a team looking to go for a three-peat here in the FIBA AfroBasket. Well, Josh Bett alongside Coach Will Voigt. And Coach, we saw a very, competitive game up until the third quarter between Nigeria and Madagascar, and of course Rwanda taking on Cote d'Ivoire. That game taking place in the Namib, but this game proves to be what could be an exciting one. Remember, Tunisia, if you look at the FIBA World Rankings presented by Nike, they are the highest ranking team within this Group B.
Well, this should be a really exciting matchup. Tunisia lacking some of the firepower that they've had in the past. You see Coach Marie there, but always finding a way to win. So, obviously not some familiar faces I'm used to seeing. I mean, going back to 2015, Majli, Ramdan, Slimane, all these great players who hosted the trophy for Tunisia. Now they're going to have to do it with a new group. And then, of course, Cameroon, as you see the athleticism warming up, really an exciting upcoming team. So I had a chance to talk with Coach Aboya before the start of this game. He likes this group a lot. I think they've injected a lot of good young players here. Obviously Seni, the great center, and then Yves Missi here, I think will be an exciting addition to their group.
Well, Alfred Aboya, probably regarded as one of the greatest players back in his day with the Cameroonian national team. Of course, started his career as a player with actually Antibes Sharks in the southern part of France. But now, of course, great to see him leading this team, of course, where they are. But, Cameroon, they have history within the FIBA AfroBasket. And what better way to have their coach, who was one of the greatest players in their history. But when we look at Cameroon, of course, this team, the big talking point is obviously going to be Yves Missi, who plays for the New Orleans Pelicans, had one season at Baylor University. There he is right now. I mean, how monumental is he going to be on both ends of the floor? Well,
he's a huge addition for them. Obviously a tremendous campaign this past year with the New Orleans Pelicans. Made the second team, all-rookie team for the NBA. Tremendous player at Baylor. A team in our conference now that I'm at Brigham Young, so somebody I'm very familiar with.
Well, there's Jeremiah Hill, of course, spent last season playing in France's Pro Island B with Alain Chalon, and had quite a lot of connections so far today with players on many teams with Alain Chalon. But, they had a tough season. They turned it around. And, of course, the game in which they had to qualify for the playoffs. But it's great to see him representing the Cameroonian national team, and he is going to be so impactful in the backcourt.
Well, he's a huge player for them. I mean, one of the leading scorers in France at Pro A, so certainly somebody that can fill it up for them. He's going to have the ball in his hands a lot here today.
This team, of course, filled with many talented players, to say the least. Many players playing in France with the likes of Vichy, not to mention Dijon as well as Alain Chalon. And when we mentioned Jeremiah Hill, but also Paul Eboa, who has played last season with Trapani, a team that's actually qualified for the FIBA Basketball Champions League. So, me, Coach, I love to see a national team when players are all over the globe.
Well, they have a lot of high-level experience. I mean, Jordan Bayehi also getting Euro Cup experience with Trento. So, this is a team with a ton of talent.
Well, now we'll turn our attention to the three-time champions of the FIBA AfroBasket. They won that first championship in 2011, and now they're looking for a three-peat, which would take them to four-time winners, of course. But I think the one name that everybody's going to be talking about here for Tunisia, many would regard him as the greatest point guard. That is obviously very debatable. I think he's one of the greatest for sure, Ama Abada.
No question. Back in 2015 when I was coaching Nigeria, he made his AfroBasket debut. It's been a tremendous young talent, and now the steady veteran leader of this national team.
Well, now we will stand for the national anthems of these two beautiful countries. National anthems of two beautiful countries, Tunisia and Cameroon, have been sung. The players go mid-court to shake hands, pay each other that respect. But now we're moments away from tip-off, just under halfway. And now it's time to introduce our 3 referees for tonight's game. Well, here in FIBA and FIBA AfroBasket specifically, we're very proud to say we have 3 of the very finest referees in world basketball who've done an excellent job in all of our competitions, and they'll continue to do so tonight here for the second game of Game Day 2, a Group B fixture between Cameroon and Tunisia. Well, we're very proud, of course, having 3 of the very finest, and of course, you know in a game like this, there's going to be a lot of anticipation, a lot of emotion going into this one, but no doubt they're going to do an excellent job. Well, those 3 referees, as you can see in front of you, from Australia, we have Ruben Walcock. From Cote d'Ivoire, we have Hassane Kamate and Jean Saver Uhamiz Zuriza coming from Rwanda. Well, Coach, we're going to take a look at the starting lineups for these 2 teams and the Cameroonian fans making the journey down here to beautiful Angola. And I just imagine Missy, for sure, he's going to be in the starting lineup. I mean, there could be changes, but I'd imagine being the go-to player.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a huge impact for this team. Obviously, the length and presence that he brings to the interior, but that player right there, Jeremiah Hill, is going to, I think, really be the main catalyst for their offense. A dynamic scorer, one of the top scorers in France. I expect him to have a big tournament.
And very interesting for Jeremiah Hill. We talked about him having a very good season for Alain in Pro A. Of course, many of his teammates here for Cameroon, he would have seen them or gone up against him in that league.
Yeah, I mean, you know, a lot of French experience on this team, and a lot of times, you know, I think competing against each other brings some familiarity when you come together on that national team.
Well, for Tunisia, I mean, it is a different team, but here is where it all begins, and he's not only going to have to be the leader, he is going to have to be the go-to player for this team. Not many teams in any FIBA Continental competition have been able to do a three-peat. It's a very tough, you know this specifically, Coach, but is it possible with this team?
Well, I think you can never count them out. You know, that's the credit to Tunisia and the national team program. Every year they're competitive. You see Coach Marie there, the next one up in terms of continuing this tradition. But these players know how to play together. They execute their offense really, really well, and they're used to winning big games. Mehdi
Marie, head coach of Tunisia, back in 2021 was the head coach of the great CSB Limoges, and Alfred Aboya. Well, we talked about, I mean, I mentioned about him starting his pro career with Antibes Sharks, and, you know, it's probably one of the most beautiful, immaculate places on the south of France. But he played for 3 teams in Japan. He played for Utsunami Abrex, a team that will go to the FIBA ICC this coming September, but also played for the likes of Hitachi Sun Rockets and the Shiga Lakes. And it's great to see a player, or a coach, I should say, with such vast international experience now leading this national team.
Well, Alfred's done a tremendous job with this team, has taken over at the NBA Academy in Senegal, done a really nice job with that group as well. And I actually have one of my former assistants helping him there at the Academy, Emmanuel Mavomo. So great to see him here on the sidelines. He's doing an excellent job with this team.
Well, the official sponsor, the countdown to tip-off, the Tissot countdown to tip-off is underway. And a big thank you to Tissot for a magnificent partnership with FIBA for many years, of course, as now it is Tunisia going up against Cameroon. Well, you kind of think a team that's won championships going up against a team that hasn't won championships, but we'll see how this one goes.
Well, Cameroon has always been talented. I think their issue has been the struggle to win that big game. So, you know, great early test here in the tournament. What better way than to beat the defending champs?
Well, Cameroon, it was in the summer of 2007 in which they did go up against. We'll just have a little peek in to see what Coach Mehdi is just trying to address to his players. Well, you think with a team like Tunisia, is it going to be down to defense or is it going to be a transition game? Where can you see this team really going about this in terms of X's and O's, Coach?
Well, you know, Tunisia really trying to dice you up with their half-court execution. I mean, these players know how to play. They know how to play together. They're going to try to keep this in the half-court as much as possible. Cameroon will try to use their length and athleticism, try to disrupt, get down to the open floor.
Well, we know the prestige, the history of Tunisian basketball. Cameroon has a history as well. It was 2007 in which Cameroon, the only time they stood on the podium. And interestingly, one of their leading scorers that summer at the 2007 FIBA AfroBasket was Gaston Asonge. And if anybody knows anything about his prestige, his son recently drafted into the NBA, Noah Asonge. So now for Cameroon, it's about taking that step further. But, Coach, they're up against three-time champions Tunisia, now looking to three-peat here at the AfroBasket.
Yeah, and I think this game is going to set the tone for both teams as they move forward here. You know, for Tunisia, so many new faces. Obviously, a lot of pressure on this group to see if they can continue that tradition of winning. And for Cameroon to start the tournament off with such a quality win, I think gives them a lot of confidence as they move on.
Well, Missy's going to jump this one with Archie. Welcome, everybody, to Luanda, Angola. It will be Cameroon with the first possession. They're trying to get Cameroon into a quick offense. Now going ball screen. Well, left uncontested, fires a three, and again, making the defense pay early.
Well, Baye, very comfortable in that position. I'm surprised Tunisia willing to lay back, see if he could knock that shot in.
Well, Tunisia now getting an open three of their own uncontested, but that one's not going to go. But coming up with the offensive board as he tries to go for the block, big rebound. Hugging the sideline here in transition. Now finding a post entry, powers his way in. Count it. Well, Coach, Baye's going from the perimeter, but now he's playing bully basketball inside the paint.
Well, what a great start for him. You see the inside-outside threat here, just too strong. Great finish through the contact.
I mean, is that a case of you got to prevent him from getting the ball in the paint? Because, I mean, that is just simply, I don't think there's going to be many players at his position that are going to be able to defend him inside the low block.
Well, you know, in transition, I think they're scrambling there. Great job of the early seal, and Tunisia trying to find a little bit of offense here to calm this down.
So far, Jordan Baye getting the first 6 points, having a good, solid career. He's been in Italy for a very long time. Trying to avoid the block and a smooth play to the bucket. Tough finish.
Yeah, great finish there from Jawadi.
Tunisia getting their first 2 points in the paint. Expansion coming from Double J, but now trying to match up here with Jeremiah Hill. Let's have a quick pass to Missy. Bumps reverse layup, and now you can see Cameroon's bread and butter finding buckets inside the key.
Yeah, great roll and finish there. A little bit of contact, able to finish through that.
So Tunisians struggling from the perimeter. I like this. You see this kind of aggressive nature from the Tunisians, you know, really going in for second chances. But it's that old saying, Coach, it's easier said than done. Cameroon, they're tough.
Well, there's a lot of size and length that they're going to bring onto this court.
You see now looking for an ISO. Wants to take on Archie. That time defending well, but now Tunisia. Jawadi looking to make the break. One thing Tunisia is going to have to try to work for today is going to be counterattack transition points. But now a high ball screen with Jawadi. Abada. Final seconds here of the shot clock. Abada's got to make something happen. Pulls up inside the key, can't get it. Well, again, you can just see that. Trying to go in for offensive rebounds. And now getting their first three-pointer. That will settle down their nerves, Coach.
Well, great kick out there. Now, instead of forcing the putback on offense, a rebound found Jawadi at the top of the key, and he knocks it down.
You notice both teams really coming out in very good half-court sets. They've got spacing. They've also got a lot of room inside the paint, but kind of feel this game could. I mean, here's the kick out, the three from Jawadi. And that's going to go out of bounds. Good defense. Mefnani forcing Baye into a turnover, so not too much protest there from Coach Aboya.
Yeah, really nice hands there from Metnani.
Narash just trying to be aggressive. But Abada now working off another ball screen. That's what Tunisia likes to do. Run through as much pick and roll as possible. This is a good ball move, but again, they've got to get a shot off. Has to go again, does a great job, but that's not going to fall for Tunisia. Well, Baye this time finding Missy from 15. He'll fire this, but Coach, nobody going in for Cameroon for the offensive board.
Yeah, I think they just were caught a little off guard from Misi pulling that mid-range jump shot.
Nice pass in the lane all of a sudden, leveling things up here in Angola. And now Tunisia getting into better rhythm. Hill goes baseline, gets his pocket picked. Abada wants to run. Tunisia have numbers. They're failing to take the lead, but again, coming up with a second chance. Jawadi's made 1 3. And now it's Cameroon who have numbers. Hill will pull up for 3. He'll fire this one. Game just losing a bit of its composure here from both teams on both ends of the floor. The foul has been given, so the question is that on the ground? If that's going to be 2 free throws coming up.
Yeah, nice take here from Obada. Looked like it might have been a clean swipe. Obada fortunate to get the 2 free throws.
Well, the foul was called on Fabian Atiba, so that's going to be his first personal foul. And that's actually Cameroon's first foul of the game. Obada makes the free throw. It's like you said in the pregame, Coach. I mean, you look at this team compared to the prior 2 championship teams in 2017 and 2021. I mean, respectfully, it's fair to say the talent isn't as strong, but you said it very well. You just cannot seem to count this team out.
Well, you really can. I mean, there's such a tradition of winning. All these teams have always been great half-court execution teams. I think they benefit from playing with and against each other in the Tunisian domestic league. They're all very familiar with each other's strengths. And, you know, every AfroBasket tournament, they're going to be one of the top teams there.
Well, how Cameroon deals with the full court pressure. Will reach in. That's going to remain Cameroon ball. Now, Coach Aboya feeling that should be a foul.
Certainly a little bit of contact there. I can understand why he'd be frustrated.
Well, Beckham just doing his duties in the backcourt.
You see the zone look here from Tunisia versus the side out of bounds.
Now Missy wants to attack. He's got to kick out. That's a high 3. And again, that had a lot of back on it, Coach.
Well, you know, great shot there from Naras. Definitely had the high arcer. He's really known more as an offensive rebounder, defender, but when he's knocking down shots, he can be tough.
Obada goes up against Missy, finds a bit of separation. Another offensive board here for the Tunisians. Failing to capitalize. Well, Tunisia do have a player down. The question is, can Cameroon capitalize? This is good ball movement. Naras going straight to the bucket. Follow-up not quite there, but that's well defended by Tunisia. Zabata just trying to work circles around the screens. And Nani, he'll attack, he'll go in, he'll finish under intense pressure.
That's a really great take there from Nani.
Just trying to find that close separation here for Missy. Twisting Tony, nowhere to go. Call the double team. Naras finds Hill. He'll fire wide open. And he'll sink a 3-pointer. And that's what they need him to do, Coach.
Well, really good ball movement there. Started with Misi, kicking it out, putting in Tunisia in rotation, finding Hill for the corner 3.
I think both teams getting good looks on the perimeter. Jawadi trying to take on. Actually, I'm not sure he takes many threes, but hey, why not? Big man.
Big 3 there from Ochi. He can knock those down consistently. That's going to be huge.
He had quite a lot of time to get that shot off, Coach. Naras has made 1 3. Well, he's feeling the confidence very early on. Why not?
Yeah, 2 big ones there. I think if you're Tunisia, though, you don't want to overreact to that. He's really capable slasher.
Do you find that both teams are getting too much time and space to take these threes?
Well, you know, I think some of it's scout report based. You know, the guys that have been hitting them are not necessarily known for their perimeter shooting.
Well, Lachi just going for the back to the basket here against Missy, but already Cameroon have converted 4 3-point field goals. Tunisia's got to think something may have to change. The defense being exemplified by Abada. Just doesn't want to allow Jeremiah Hill too much space, but Hill goes in, and now he'll go to the free throw line.
Homie reaching in here on the drive. Abada a little frustrated, felt like he had it under control there. Certainly don't want to give Hill easy points.
Well, interesting, well, we're going to have a timeout now, as I think both teams will want to talk it over. So far, currently, a 1-point lead to Cameroon. When we come back, it'll be Jeremiah Hill going to the free throw line. We'll just go down here what Coach Aboya is going to address to his players.
Yeah. Okay. Jeremiah. Yeah, listen. Hey, we have to rebound. We have to create room and rebound. When we rebound, the outlet is there. We have to run. We start the game well, pushing the ball in transition. We got to score. Don't stop that. Continue to push the ball so we can get easy point transition, right? All right. So now we're trying to go the ball inside. Let's go to our flow rip. All right. Set the screen high here. So as you go, boom, we reverse. You can set that pick, dribble over. Right there. They're not calling foul. I told you they weren't going to call foul.
Hey, if he starts to cheat and he's dropping, turn it into a pin down. Pin for me, and then it's going to be back because he has to help.
Yep, because this guy said, there's a
Your man's he dropped all the way down, like immediately, so I can't even set the rip screen.
Right here, right now.
We're going to rebound, we're going to get this league going.
Well, Nadas has had a very good start, and you mentioned, Coach, you know, not known necessarily for his perimeter shooting, but spent some good years playing for Le Mans, and as of next season, he'll be going to Jardin Dijon.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a long career playing in Pro A France, so clearly talented player. He's so big and physical. Really, where he really normally hurts you is on the offensive rebounds and slashing. So coming out here, knocking those shots down early, that's a huge bonus for Cameroon.
Jeremiah Hill, we talked about what a great season he had with Nonchalant last season, but interesting with him, he started as a freshman in NCAA Division I, but decided to go down a level to Division II, where he had 3 good seasons. I think it just goes to show that every professional player, the pathway is always so different.
Yeah, no question. Transferred down to Valdosta State, finished up really strongly there, and has had a tremendous overseas career.
So that is another foul given. So Quebec will go to the free throw line here for 3 free shots. I'm not sure Tunisia are going to be too happy with themselves for giving that one away.
Yeah, definitely a little sloppy there. You don't want to be fouling. Beckham out on the 3-point line as well.
Simon Gebekam, just like his coach, currently is actually playing for Antibes Sharks in France in the 2nd division of pro basketball. Because I like what he did early on, Coach, when Tunisia went to that sort of full court zone press. The old traditional way you'd say you flash a big man, but he just had no problem taking it down the right wing and was able to beat the press himself.
Well, you know, a lot of dynamic athletes there, certainly capable of handling the ball and trying to beat it on their own.
Now Cameroon trying to put on some full court pressure, but Tunisia have no problem breaking it down. 4-point lead to Cameroon. Now with just nearly 3 minutes to go here. Achi getting a seal off. But now kicking back out. Good pump fake, but this time misses. Missy gets a rebound. Cameroon looking to extend their lead. Beckham just one too many dribbles, and that's an unfortunate turnover.
Yeah, a little sloppy ball handling as he came down the baseline. Just trying to force something that wasn't there.
Well, it's only a 2-possession ball game. I think Alfred Aboya knows his team very well and capable of winning this game, but he, as you mentioned, it's got to be very practical and tactical against a team as good as Tunisia. Oh, good passing. Abada goes for a 3. It's up. Unable to finish. Goes out of bounds. Cameroon will get it back.
I think Coach Mali, though, happy with that possession. Ball not hitting the floor. You see the beautiful ball movement there from Tunisia. Abada just not able to knock it down.
Yaga also subbing into the game for Cameroon, just giving them a bit of a dynamic force. Missy catches a tough one. Just a post up. Pump fakes, in and around, bit of contact, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Well, you know, Hill, little too hot with that pass. So great set there from Coach Aboya. Missy really wide open on this cross screen. but had to turn it into a post isolation. You can see here he's really trying hard to get to that right-hand finish.
Well, he was a 62% free throw shooter this season in the NBA. Nearly averaged a double-double. The Cameroonian fans definitely enjoying the occasion so far, who've made the journey, Coach. Well, Missy converts both free throws. Provisional substitution. He'll sub out of the game. So checking in is, well, re-answering play, Jordan Baye. Cameroon now, Coach, you think Ayaga's going to be the natural center here, or?
Well, I think Bayehi's going to take over that 5 spot.
Tunisia patiently pass. Hill comes up with a rebound. Nearly 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. 6-point lead to Cameroon. Good congestion here as the Tunisians just trying to clog the paints. Well, Hill waiting for some movement. Beckham, he'll bump, he'll go up. And again, another trip to the free throw line.
Yeah, you can see Beckham really trying to be aggressive with the ball in his hands. I think Tunisia's got to be a little bit softer with their closeouts against him.
I think a positive note here for Alfred Aboya, head coach of Cameroon, is after these free throws, they would have taken 10 free throws already here in the first quarter. Tunisia's only taken 2.
Yeah, it's certainly been a problem for Tunisia so far here. They've got to be more disciplined with their defense.
Well, correction, actually make it 11, but they've missed 3 so far, Cameroon. Beckham extending it here for a 7-point Cameroonian lead. Hill comes up with it. No, goes out of bounds. And you like the defensive intensity from Jeremiah Hill.
Well, this press there to disrupt the offense of Tunisia, almost coming up with an opportunistic steal there for Hill.
1 second. But for some reason, the shot clock's got to go down. He said 17 when Hill attempted the steal. Well, actually, they got 2 seconds to get the ball over the halfway line. So it's at 18. Well, we go for the long one. Nice work here by Tunisia. Aggressively coming off the screen, but now uninvertedly turning this one over. And coach, Tunisia really struggling here in their offense without Archie and Abada on the floor.
Yeah, just looking a little bit disrupted there from the athleticism of Cameroon.
Bailly flashing high, finds Gebetkum. Gebetkum going all the way, kicks out. Can he hit a 5th 3? It's up. It's raining threes from Cameroon. 5 3-point field goals here in the first quarter.
Well, great job of Beckham to find that kick out to show in the corner, but Beckham's really been aggressive here in the first quarter, getting downhill at will against this Tunisia defense.
And Cameroon simply everywhere on defense. Tunisia finding it difficult to even make passes. There's the 5th 3-pointer. But coach, going to Cameroon's defense, hands in the passing lanes, it's all anticipation. And those fans, they're loving everything.
Well, they've had a lot to cheer for so far in this first quarter. Really active defense from Cameroon. Tunisia unable to find a rhythm offensively yet in this game.
But Tunisia's got to build something. Well, they go for another 3 final seconds. But just nothing dropping. So far, only 2 out of 9 from the 3-point line for the Tunisians. But Cameroon just going straight to the paint. And coach, that defense, that's not acceptable.
Well, you know, Bayehi deserves the credit there, sealing off the defender, giving a wide open lane.
Because Tunisia, they've clogged the paint on every possession. Of course, that one in transition, but right now, 12-point lead. And that could have been a potential 2-for-1 if Cameroon could get the stop. Cameroon do have fouls to give. Tunisia go for a tough 3, and now they come up with an offensive rebound. 1 second difference between game and shot clock. Medisea, nowhere to go here. Steps through. Well, they have to shoot this one. Cameroon avoid the foul, and they'll finish the first quarter with a bucket. Ahmad Adami just cutting it down to a 10-point deficit But, Coach, it's all been Cameroon so far here in the first quarter.
Well, it really has been. I mean, tough shot there from Adami. Lucky to get any kind of look there. And that's been the story of this quarter. So credit to Cameroon really coming out, being aggressive with their ball pressure. I think disrupting Tunisia quite a bit with their half-court execution.
Cameroon do actually have 3 turnovers. Tunisia only have 1, but 5 3-point field goals. They've only missed 1, and getting to the free throw line. I mean, they've done a lot of post-entry work with Yves Missy, but you'd start to think Tunisia's got to change something up offensively, Coach.
Well, they've got to find a solution. Obviously, I think with the ball off the court makes it extra difficult.
Well, here are the top plays of the first quarter. That time by right there from the get-go. If it's on the scouting report, he's not a good three-point shooter. I mean, that's just way too much respect they gave him.
Well, he came ready to play. So inside, outside, you're seeing it here, taking it strong to the basket. I think the players started to feed off of his confidence and aggression.
Well, Bae got the first 6 points of the game here for Cameroon, but then Jawadi came in, and when he hit that three-pointer, you kind of felt this is going to go back and forth. Both teams exchanging good offenses, getting good buckets, but it was that passage of play with Cameroon's defense just made it suffocating, along with the very excellent three-point shooting.
Well, they really shot well from 3 to start this game out, but I think it was the defense and especially the pressure that started to get to Tunisia and their execution.
It's been a very good half from the Cameroonians here. We'll see how this pans out. Archie playing. I mean, where I've been impressed with Archie is just his will to really go for that textbook old-school post play against Yves Missy, who is a very, an up-and-coming NBA player. But basketball fans, use that QR code, scan it today, and download Courtside 1891, the home of international basketball, to get extended highlights of FIBA competitions and friendly games ahead of the 2025 FIBA AfroBasket. Now, if you are Cameroon and you're having this, good a game from the perimeter, and say, if you're Morocco, my apologies, if you're Tunisia, and say, do you go into his own defense at some point?
Well, you need to find something that's going to change the rhythm for Cameroon. I think, maybe with them shooting so well from 3, you're a little nervous to get into that zone right away. But definitely so far, they have not had an answer for this Cameroonian offense.
Well, the positive note is they finished with a bucket at the end of the first quarter. Any early stage to any quarter, you want to get off to a good run, especially against a very good team like Cameroon. Abada coming off one screen. Well, that's a nice dime down low, and there you can see getting points in the paint. That is going to be a huge plus for Tunisia.
Well, I like that set from Coach Marie coming out of the quarter here. Try to disrupt the pressure by setting off-ball screens first, coming into the handoffs.
Bae trying to get a seal up. Quebec working that high pick and roll with Abua. Finding a Tiber in the corner, that's contested. Three-pointer number 6, and Cameroon continue to light it up.
Well, if they're going to shoot the ball like this, they can beat anybody in this tournament. Great kick out again from Beckham, though, doing an excellent job penetrating, finding his shooters when the defense collapses.
Well, there's the alley-oop and the connection, not quite there. Well, I like the idea. I like what we're seeing so far from Tunisia. They're trying to go inside the paint. In that case, well, that would have been monumental had they connected, but maybe just a... Well, there's the first play. That's good execution. Abua looking for a handoff. Quebec, now they go under the screen. That time try to kick out, but good hands. Abada goes quickly, gets rejected. Well, what recovery right there.
Oh, great stock down in transition. Cameroon just everywhere right now.
Well, Tunisia getting offensive rebounds, but not converting. Quebec, he's got numbers. That's going to be a traveling violation. No, that's going to be a foul. Well, Quebec may have felt he should have dished that, but Coach, I think he had the advantage. He probably should have gone himself on that one.
Well, there was a lot going on there. I think Tunisia trying to take the earlier foul. They let play go on. You see here Tunisia thinking they had an easy, fast break there. great effort from Show to run that down and block it from behind.
Well, Kvefka makes the first free throw. Of course, as a youngster, he actually started with Sloop Nancy, but yet again, another player we've seen here in the FIBA AfroBasket, which I'm going to start calling them the Academy. Spent one season, 22-23 with Alain Chalon.
Well, credit to Chalon and their ability to produce talented young players.
Well, very historic club, of course. Back in 2016, played in the FIBA Europe Cup final, but great to see so many talented players who played for them here at the FIBA AfroBasket. It's now Cameroon forcing another turnover. They want to run here. Going behind the back. One pass goes in. Well, try to make the connection. And coach, that might have been a highlight had he connected.
Well, Show putting on a show there with the ball handling and passing abilities. Cameroon just clicking on all cylinders here.
I mean, look at this. I don't know what I like better, the behind the back in transition or the dime or what could have been a potential flush, but Cameroon playing some exciting stuff here at the moment. Well, Lachi is coming back in now for Tunisia. Because it's interesting when we talk about the center position in modern day basketball. And, for me, he embodies what a foundation big man is. He looks for position at the double block. He tries to seal you off, and he has good footwork. It's the back to the basket. But, is that position really gone, or is it still here? Because he's embodying it very well here in Angola.
Well, I think for sure it's alive and well, especially in international basketball. You need these guys to be the hub of your defense, and then more and more teams using their fives as facilitators in their offense as well.
Because when I talk to a lot of centers who are, 205 centimeters, 210 centimeters, a lot of them always say to me, part of their games they've got to work on if they want to, play in the really big leagues is, number one, they've got to be able to pick and pop and shoot the three. Another thing is they've got to be able to come out and rush and be able to take care of guards on the perimeter. It seems like the center position evolves quicker than the guard roles.
Well, the modern game definitely putting a premium on skill at all five positions.
Biggest lead of the game here for Cameroon. Obata, so far, just trying to build some stability here in Tunisia's backcourt. Obata pump fakes. Final set gets this one off. Well, coach, he had to dig deep, and he had to get that off quickly.
Well, that was not easy from Jawadi. Cameroon switching, really giving them a lot of problems, struggling to find any kind of open look.
Atiba going for another three in the corner. That's only the second missed three-point attempt for Cameroon tonight. Now Tunisia looking to run. This is good defense by Cameroon, but still now under 10 here on the shot clock. Obata now looking to attack. He'll pull up for a three. And back-to-back three-pointers, cutting it down. A 6-0 run from Tunisia.
Well, two big shots from the Tunisian backcourt. Neither were really that open. Tunisia just trying to find some life right now.
Well, Cameroon now making, well, coach, 7 three-pointer. He's not only good in the paint, he's also good on the perimeter.
Well, Abois, obviously a high-level player playing for Vanoli Cremona in Italy's top division. So they just keep coming at you with players one by one who right now are all on fire from the perimeter.
Got to keep this one under control. I think a foul is going to be called. And unfortunately for Tunisia, coach, is that the fifth? No, that's only the 13th foul, excuse me. So they do have one foul to give here in the second quarter. So it is going to be a sideline possession in their own half, but after that three-pointer by Abois, that does put it back to a 12-point cushion here for Cameroon. Well, when they were part of their championship 2 runs, when he was a part of it, of course, I mean, it was, well, now they go into a zone defense, and you start to wonder, this 2-3 zone, how Cameroon's going to attack it.
Well, we saw it against their side out of bounds earlier. had a little success with that one possession.
Well, now it's a 3-on-2. Tunisia's got numbers. Going the length of the floor, and actually not bad at all, because now he'll give himself a trip to the free throw line. But Yassine Toumi, I believe he played at Seton Hall University, but you like to see that just a little bit more decisive in transition.
Well, you know, the zone, throwing a different look at Cameroon, just trying to do anything to disrupt their rhythm right now. Maybe this is something they're going to go back to here after these free throws.
He actually started with University of Arkansas in Little Rock. Actually spent last season with Seton Hall. So yet to really embrace that professional career. But that could change very soon. Second free throw, no good. Gets his own rebound, and yet he'll go back to the free throw line yet again.
A good job there following his miss. Trying to give a little spark here to this Tunisian team.
As you look back on what we've seen so far here in the first quarter, in the first 4 minutes, I mean, they've been hungry. They've contested for offensive rebounds, but the fact is Cameroon's just been better at keeping them from converting second chance points and getting many of those.
Well, you know, sometimes when you're playing a team who just starts out as hot as Cameroon has, you're just trying to hold on a little bit, not let this lead balloon to such a large amount that you can't come back from. So I think, you know, Tunisia's got some experience on this team. Abada for sure will keep the ship steady right now. They just have to weather the storm. Cameroon can't continue to shoot this well from three throughout the game.
Well, I'd say he's had a Nick Anderson moment there at the free throw line, unfortunately. But, you know, down by 12, only 5:57 to go here in the second quarter. This game could change in terms of momentum, but Cameroon's just got to keep on attacking the zone. Tunisia, they've got to be compact. Try to make every three-point attempt a tough one. Mood now finding Jeremiah Hill. He'll pump fake. He'll find a bit of space. He'll fire a three. That one's not going to go, but the Cameroonian fans still chanting. Jawadi just gets inside the paint. He'll go for a teardrop, and that's over by 8. Now you can see Cameroon getting ready for a double change. Missy also looking to sub back in for them. Well, coming up with another second chance. At 50-50, that's where Cameroon's always going to have a good advantage.
Well, I like the switch to the zone here from Coach Marie. They needed something to change the rhythm of this game. 2 quick stops there, and I would expect him to stay in it here.
That's the 4th and final foul against Tunisia. So for 5:04 left, they don't want to send Cameroon continuously to the free throw line because they've done a good job converting 11 out of 14. Well, Yaga's going to leave the game, so Naras, along with Missy, will come in. You know, this should give them just a little bit more force to maybe attack the zone. What do you think, Coach?
Well, you know, interesting to see, and this has kind of been a theme so far in the tournament. Coaches early on going to their entire roster, giving guys a quick glimpse to see what they're going to do in this tournament. Well,
Moot making the 8th three-pointer in the first half of Cameroon. Coach, they are on fire at the moment.
Well, Mute coming off the bench right away, knocking down a big 3, trying to get Tunisia to come out of this zone.
They've only missed 5. They're 8 out of 13, excuse me. A nice take by Jawadi, just getting right inside the paint.
Well, that's a great finish from Jawadi, absorbing the contact with the body, putting the spin on the finish.
Naras behind the back. Abuela goes in, gets rejected. Missy follows up. Had a kick out, decided to go himself, and in the end turns it over. You like to see this from Tunisia. They don't get something quick in transition. Quickly get into that half-court set. The high pick and roll. The foul is going to be called against Naras.
We can see that thumb down set for Tunisia. That's their Spanish pick and roll. They've got their shooter setting the back pick on the 5 as he rolls. I think sometimes maybe just something simple like this, a good way to loosen up the ball pressure. It can be hard to move the ball side to side when teams are really climbing into you defensively.
Jawadi looking for a kick out. Any bucket now will make it a single possession game, but the elevation by Missy. Missy down the middle, here we go. Goodness gracious. Well, showtime from New Orleans. Well, Coach, had he connected. I mean, look at the transition. There's the block. And then Hill, eyes everywhere, finds Missy. That would have been something.
Well, you're seeing the length and athleticism on display. Catching that finish at the top of the square and then immediately sprinting the floor and almost a highlight dunk finish there.
I think Missy right there is like, why did I go that way? Why, I should have made that, but he'll be going to the free throw line. Timeout call by Tunisia. We'll go down to the benches to find out what the coaches have to say.
Doesn't matter. You got hit. Remember transition defense. When we attack on pick and roll, if it's not clear, maybe you can go in front, the big or Nash action. Drive to make them collapse and kick out. If we play direct basketball, they got rim protection, okay? Drive to make them collapse and kick out. When they go step on pick and roll, okay, fast and wide, leave before the screen. Before the screen, boom, boom on Spanish, and middle drive, move the ball, middle drive, okay? Important, on step out, we use before the screen, we beat the guy, we beat the big, roll deep, move the ball, okay? Hey, we have in mind that they got rim protection. When we attack, they will collapse. If we kick out, we will find our blender. Okay? Clear? Very important, we have this in mind. Now, we go Wasef middle, go Ganouni, you do the inbounds. If they go 1-2-1-1, you inbounds and you are like this. Usama, you can move here or here. Okay? And we have Wasef middle.
Well, Coach Marie, of course, it should have been a Spanish pick and roll, but Jawadi, their leading scorer, 10 points. And you kind of feel, Coach, when he has the ball in his hands, he seems to be not only their most creative player, but also their most dangerous player.
Well, he's doing everything he can to keep Tunisia in this game. You saw earlier the really tough finish over Misi. And, of course, feeling it from three. Tough pull up there. He's had an excellent half so far.
Well, Missy missing the first free throw. It's still an 11-point lead to Cameroon. For the defense, the transition, but also the three-point shooting has been a huge talking point. 8 out of 13 so far. Converts a second free throw, now extending it to a 12-point lead. Now we're under 4 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Tunisia just trying to go that dribble handoff. They'll go for another three. This one's up. Missy Towers for the rebound, but Archie puts him under pressure. Well, second chance points, and Coach, that's all down to the big fella, Archie, battling there with Missy.
Yeah, great job keeping it alive, and Jawadi once again knocking down the open perimeter shot.
Well, this could be a trip to the free throw line because unfortunately, the foul has been committed, but well, sideline ball actually. Well, no, the table has now official. Yeah, that's correct. So it's team fouls. So Jeremiah Hill will go to the free throw line. So it was correct.
You were on it, Josh. We need the refs to come over here and console with you, but I think that's absolutely right. Should be free throws here.
We have those moments where you think something is something, and you think, no, was I wrong? But quite clearly, now the official is actually talking. I think the issue is on the score sheet, it says 3 team fouls. So I think that's where the confusions come. Well, Cameroon have missed 4 free throws so far tonight. They are 12 out of 16, and Jeremiah Hill only with that 1 3-pointer. He's actually missed 2 free throws. So, yep, they are going to go to the free throw line. It is team fouls. Cameroon have 1 foul to give. It's not often I'm that sharp, Usually I'm wrong, but.
Well, Ganouni, not really a smart move there. Overextended with the pressure, took a foul. Maybe he did think they had 1 to give, but certainly, on Hill going to the line, letting him catch a rhythm here with a couple of free throws.
And that's going to be tough because you know, if you coach Marie, you got to say to your players, 3:16, we're trying to get back in. We cannot foul anymore.
Yeah, I mean, they had a little bit of rhythm going with the zone. Definitely don't want to see free throws there.
Trying to find a coach, Jawadi. He's got 10 points, pulls up from 15. And again, making it look smooth, but he could be the player that gets him back into this one. 12 for him tonight.
Well, he's cooking, and you heard Coach Marie talk about the Spanish pick and roll, using it as a way to get the defense to collapse and kicking it back out.
Well, Hill went to the ground, may have lost his balance, and now Ganouni. Transition, he's going to avoid the block and cut it down to 8. A nice 4-0 run from Tunisia. Now that's with a seal-up. Archie getting ready for the double team. Elevation on the fadeaway. The big offensive board. You can see the Tunisian players crowding the paint, but it's not enough as it's another and one. Well, Coach, Tunisia did everything right there. Unfortunately, what can you do when you've got a team as hungry, as great as Cameroon, that just go for those second chance points?
Well, you see Ayaga starts with him really being aggressive there, finding Naras on the drop-off. But, you know, if you're Tunisia, you're starting to climb back into the game. These little plays like that can really be backbreakers. They've got to be disciplined with their blockouts. Try to finish this half out where they can get the lead under double digits.
And that 4-0 run was monumental, but, you know, and that was a shooting foul regardless, but you're absolutely right. It seemed like there were 3 players around Ayaga. It almost seemed like a little walk in the park for Naras.
It really was. I mean, both those guys able to cut to the basket with not a lot of resistance there.
Cameroon extending back to a double-digit lead. But they have one foul to give. A nice little floater. Archie battles, and that's the final foul to give away. And you can see Cameroon, for how physical and the size they have, they seem to have some issues guarding Archie.
Well, I'm surprised, you know, of course, wanting to get Abada back on the floor makes sense, but you've got Jawadi, the hot hand for Tunisia right now. I think I'm trying to ride him through these last 2 minutes into the half.
No more fouls to give. Obata now getting the switch. Kicks out. And there's a step back three. It's up, no good. And Missy comes up with it. Missy going the leg to the floor, and look out below. My goodness. Coach, I just saw man fly in the sky.
Well, that was full takeoff there for Missy. You see the athleticism, you see the length. Nobody wanting to get in the way of that one from Tunisia.
The elevation, but a good response, a three-pointer. The big man showing his versatility. Well, Coach, I'm liking Archie. He posts up, he battles with rebounds, and he shoots a three.
Well, I love the response to quiet the Cameroonian crowd down.
Jeremiah Hill battles for the offensive rebound. Missy jump hook, too short. Well, that's going to go out of bounds, and that's going to go to Tunisia with 1:07. I got to see this again. I have to see this one more time. This is impossible. That is man defying the laws of gravity. New Orleans Pelicans, are you kidding me?
Well, you see their bench reacting to that. We might have to check this rim out at halftime. Missy punishing it with the finish.
Still a 10-point cushion, just over a minute to go here in the second quarter. Tunisia want to get this down to single digits. Well, there's a gamble. There's a kick out. Good ball movement. Abada, he's made 1 3. That's a good offense. They got a high percentage look.
Yeah, it's a good possession. Coach Mari's going to be happy with that. He had talked to them in that previous timeout about penetrating and kicking, expecting them to collapse. But now you've got to be smarter. You don't come up with the offensive rebound. Archie taking a bad foul here, giving free throws to Cameroon when you're trying to climb back in.
Well, that is the unfortunate circumstances of getting into the penalty too early. Cameroon's done a good job at taking advantage of being in the penalty. I mean, they've gone to the free throw line because they've made, that will be the 16th made free throw. They're just under 80% so far tonight.
Well, it's interesting. You don't see the press here from Cameroon. They had some success with that earlier on. Content with going to man here.
Well, those free throws now acting as a potential 2 for 1. But Tunisia need a bucket. Well, then they'll go for another 3. Not going to get it, but they'll come up with the offensive rebound. Still a bit of time difference. And that one's wide open. That's a good look, and it's up. Bang! That's what they need.
Oh, great pass there from Abada, seeing the corner. And maybe this is something that can get them going. Marnawi, really a streaky scorer, finally seeing the ball go in the basket.
Well, that's his first field goal of the game. There's a foul. Now, was the foul committed? Yeah, I think that's going to count. The foul was committed off the ball, but was it committed after Jeremiah Hill took the 3? They may have to review this, but let's have a look here. There's a step back. Now, granted, the foul, well, maybe not, coach. It's not us. Did he throw Abada to the ground before Jeremiah Hill shot the ball?
Yeah, it looks like he did. It'll be interesting to see what the officials come up with here. But certainly on that replay, definitely looked like the foul occurred before Hill had released the ball.
Well, Hill's saying just go to the monitor and review it, but no bucket, no basket. Well, Alfred Aboya can call for a head coach's challenge, and I think that's what he's signaling to the referees. Well, he may not want to waste his head coach's challenge because there's, yeah, I mean, that's.
It's definitely before. You can see, Nanas is pushing Abada in the back before Hill gets it out. Looks like there might be a challenge here, but I'm not sure that Coach Aboya is going to win this one.
I'm not sure if it's a timeout or if it is a challenge, but because the officials are not going to the monitor, so it looks like a timeout has been given. Now, Tunisia is going to call timeout, and they'll get it back with 2.7 seconds. So we'll head down to their bench to find out what Coach Marie is going to try to draw up. So far, 12-point lead to Cameroon here in the second game of game day 2.
Omar. Oussama. Ganouni. Ademi, screen for Ganouni. We can have this. If you have that, you can be aggressive, okay? If not, Ademi, pop and end off. If there is problem, Ademi, contact, and you have all this area, and we pass in this area, okay? We don't take risk. If we have something, we have something, but we don't want to give them the ball back. Clear? Okay? Take distance because maybe with speed, you can have it here. Omar, c'est toi qui décides. Ok, le niveau de risque. Clear, boom, go joue Oussama. Allez, let's go.
Well, not a lot of time here, of course, Coach, for these two teams, well, specifically for Tunisia. 2.7. You kind of wonder what they're going to draw up here, but there's Yves Missy. 7 points so far tonight, but I think the most memorable moment was the Missy Airlines, if you like.
Well, Missy making his impact. Several tough finishes there. You see the little bump. And what a play here. Above the square on the block, continues to run the floor. And the finish, of course.
Well, that's frightening, but it's simply magnificent. And a moment to remember at the 2025 FIBA AfroBasket. Well, 2.7 left here in the second quarter. Abada will inbound this. Jawadi's deep in the corner, so I wonder if they're going to try to, I mean, there's not a lot of time. You got to get it inbound. 1-2 dribbles at most, and then you got to get a shot off. Well, Missy just switching with Williams Naras. Is now ready. Abada, 2.7. Well, Abada's got to go quick. And doesn't even attempt a shot, so not quite a good way for Tunisia to try and end the first half. They only trail by 9 points. They've trailed by as many as 13. But it has been the Cameroon show so far here in the first half. Coach, the three-point shooting for Cameroon it's been impressive. But Tunisia, only 6 out of 20, while Cameroon, over 50% at 8 out of 15, and 17 out of 21 they've converted from the free throw line.
Well, I think that's really been the biggest area, the free throws. 21 attempts to just 6 for Tunisia. A huge discrepancy there.
Well, Tunisia are leading the rebound count. Cameroon only have 4 offensive boards, while the Tunisians, well, incredibly, 13 offensive rebounds. They've got to convert these into second chance points.
Yeah, I mean, they've got to find a way to cool down this Cameroonian offense. You know, obviously 51 points here in the first half. Some of it with some really tough shooting, but definitely Tunisia can be better defensively.
Well, here are the top highlights from the second quarter. As mentioned, Cameroon, I mean, it's not just making these three-pointers, building high percentage looks and moving the ball very well.
Well, you know, their guards did a great job. Beckham especially getting downhill, finding their perimeter shooters.
Well, there were some good looks inside the paint for the Tunisians. Remember, the 2-time defending champions of the FIBA AfroBasket, looking for that three-peat. The rejections, how many times have we seen Cameroon come up with some good blocks? But, you know, having said that, Tunisia's anticipated that there are going to be a lot of blocks in the paint. And sometimes you're seeing them do a good job of avoiding these blocks.
Well, you know these bigs are lurking. You've already seen a couple of highlight plays. It definitely gets in your head. So when you're trying to finish, sometimes you've got an eye out for where's that help defender coming from instead of just trying to put the ball in the basket.
Well, Jawadi at the moment leading the way with 14 points, also has 2 rebounds and 2 assists. The second leading scorer has been big man Mo Ochi. Ochi at the moment, you know, has shown some potential against these Cameroonian bigs.
Well, Ochi's been great, you know, pick and pop big. He's done his job. He's knocked down those open threes. And, I mean, Jawadi's really carried them. Where would Tunisia be without him and the performance he had in this first half?
Well, there you have it, fans. Halftime live here in Luanda, Angola. Cameroon leading by 9 points against Tunisia. We'll be back in just under 13 minutes.
Let's get this body started. Oh my goodness sakes, that's a throwdown.
Goes in for the dunk.
Good night. Too big, too strong, and just too good.
Bogdanovic, who goes in and scores. Ah!
This is what it's all about.
It's all one big basketball family, folks. Winning time. Both teams over the limit. You have got to be kidding
me. Ooh. Pressure, McCullum picks off the ball, McCullum drops off, boom! The dunk is thrown in by a cart.
What a beautiful dish for that dunk from McCullum.
Well, the surprising thing is that Mali's still allowing their bigs to have pick and pop threes, so this is something they can go back to as much as they want.
Tunisia goes in, gets denied.
Well, there's the block. Kanute with Viva on his back. There's a,
Oh, baby! Bon nuit, good night from Mali. The elevation, I gotta see that one again. As they would say in Mali, incroyable, incredible.
Valente now looking to attack.
Oh, goodness gracious. Valente just served up a poster.
Kanute, pump fakes, made his last 3, makes another one. Well, and that is a strong way for Mali to end the first half. His second 3, and only Mali's third of the game. That's almost Stephen Curry-esque.
3.5. Here we go. Good night. And as they say in Senegal, wow, wow, baby. Wow, wow.
That is trademark Senegalese basketball. There's no doubt about it. Penetrates, goes in,
gets rejected. And now Mali wants to run. Kanute, and, well, what a block by Amin.
Well, the Mali block was impressive, but Amin just calculates that one to perfection. Now they got the switch. Badio, defended by Kamagan, goes in,
gets rejected. Well, Kamagan said goodbye.
Man, he has really come to play today. What a great debut here for him. You can see here with the block.
Amin just trying to deal with the pressure. The Valley trying to.
Oh my goodness! That's Louisville, baby, and that's Zamalek.
Well, there's Anis Mahmoud on display. The athleticism, the length, but the pass as well.
Now Libya have numbers. They want to run. Goes in. Big Bruno. Said no, sir. Not at my house. Now they got numbers. Here we go. Oh, baby! Welcome to Luanda. Buonanotte. Good night. And one more time. Bango, bango time. That is unbelievable.
These guys will be legends in their own country, but also in the international basketball world forever.
Welcome back, basketball fans. We're live here in Luanda, Angola for the 2025 FIBA AfroBasket, where currently we're heading into the second half of this game between Cameroon and Tunisia. Well, Cameroon don't actually have a single player in double figures, but tonight they are being led by Williams Naras, 2 out of 2 from the three-point line, making 2 out of 8 three-pointers from Cameroon's total. But so far, Coach, he's been tough to handle.
Yeah, it really has. Started off knocking down 2 big threes, setting the tone for this Cameroon team, and they're great outside shooting.
Well, Josh Bett alongside former Nigeria and Angola head coach Will Voigt, and 2015 FIBA AfroBasket champion. And, Cameroon, they've been great so far in breaking down the zone, the full court pressure. But now we'll turn to Tunisia's leading scorer, Jawani. He has been tough, leading scorer in the game with 14, but they're going to need bigger and better things from him if they're going to win.
Well, I mean, I don't know how much more they could expect from him. He's been absolutely tremendous in that first half. They've got to figure out a way to execute their offense, find easier baskets, and really it's been the defensive end and the fouling. They've got to clean that up, find a way to get some stops.
And Coach, one thing I find very surprising in this game, and probably that's down to the rim protection that Cameroon possesses. Cameroon 4 offensive rebounds, Tunisia 13 offensive boards.
Well, part of that too, Cameroon shot the ball so well. They've had less opportunities to get those offensive rebounds. So, it hasn't really been a huge issue for Tunisia, but they've got to find a way of defending without fouling.
Well, when you compare these two teams, I mean, they've been very much regulars here in the FIBA AfroBasket since 1962. Tunisia, obviously 3-time champions, and now looking to three-peat. Well, it's been a long time, since 2007. Cameroon losing in that final against Angola. The only time they've stood on the podium here in the FIBA AfroBasket. But Coach, we've said it every game. This competition, possibly the most balanced when you think of all the, world FIBA continental competitions.
Yeah, it really is. And, you look on paper at Cameroon's roster coming into this tournament, you knew they were going to be a tough team. Traditionally, struggled to beat the top teams in AfroBasket. So I think if they're able to continue to play at the level we've seen in this half, really sets a tone for them throughout this tournament.
And, do you think it's another fair observation that, like Angola, they have a good NBA player, well, Bruno Fernando obviously formerly being in the NBA, but they also have a good core of players that many of them play all across the world. Of course, a lot of them playing in France at the highest level.
Well, it's never been a question of talent for Cameroon, and obviously, there's other players they could add to this squad. So you can imagine a Pascal Siakam, joining the mix and what he could bring. So for them, it's been executing in the big moments, and perhaps this game presents that same challenge to them.
Well, absolutely. You said Pascal Siakam. Of course, many players mentioned, even over the history of Cameroonian basketball, Alfred Aboya being up there as well. Gaston Asong, as we mentioned, he was one of the best players in their history. Obviously, his son being drafted in the NBA. And Rashad Mba Umut. I mean, there's many great names within this basketball country. And even Tunisia. I mean, one of them has only just retired and maybe got into the world of politics.
Well, you know, obviously rich tradition of basketball on both sides here. It'll be interesting to see with so many new faces to this Tunisian national team, who are going to be the guys that step up and help them chip away at this lead.
Absolutely the future, and that is the beauty of what these national teams have done a good job of. You know, the platform, the next gen hoops, if you like to call it, on the FIBA platform. But, you know, I think these players right now are probably thinking in the now. You know, the balance of this tournament, you couldn't call who's going to win it. Yeah, we are here in Angola, but like we folks alluded to, Cameroon, Tunisia, they could be in that semifinal. Who knows?
Oh, no question. You know, these are two teams, I'm sure, that came into this tournament with big aspirations.
Now, let's talk about Tunisia. We see William Naris, of course, with 9 points, but, you know, specifically, where has it gone well for Cameroon going up against Tunisia's offense?
Well, you know, I think they gained a lot of confidence early on with how well they were shooting it from three. So Tunisia just unable to keep up with the onslaught from the perimeter, but that opened up the lane for them. So really, you know, as you look towards the second quarter, they were capitalizing at the rim, drawing fouls, getting to the free throw line. So I think if you're Tunisia, you got to stay disciplined with your defense. I like the zone when they went to that. It'd be something I would consider going back to. But if Cameroon is going to beat you, I think it has to be from the three. I think you got to live with something. Certainly the free throws, not something they want to see going forward.
Well, another half to go with just under 3 minutes. The Tunisian players just trying to get nice and loose, as are the Cameroonian players. But I think what's amazing is, I think you talk about players who've come from the NBA, and you know you've worked in the NBA yourself, but there's a big difference between the NBA and the international game. And a lot of talk about him, but you know, as great as he is, as good as he's been today, he hasn't been the star player in the first half, and that is a testament to all these Cameroonian players.
Well, no question. You know, it's a different brand of basketball. Sometimes for players who are based in the U.S., it can take a while for them to adjust to that. So the physicality, the style of play, these are all things very different from the NBA.
Well, Amara Bada, probably one of the leaders of this team. Only 1 out of 7 so far from the field. He does have 2 assists, but 5 points. But that could very much change in the second half. And Coach, Tunisia need him to play better if they're going to win.
Well, he really does. He's got to play better for them. A lot of pressure for him. You know, one of the last players from this championship run who understands what's needed from him in the moment.
Well, Coach Marie, formerly of CSP Limoges in France, now with the Tunisian national team. A lot of things that need to change here in the second half, but a lot of positives to reflect on as well.
Okay, defensive ball and we run. When they have rebound, everybody need to help each other. Okay, we need to be here to close the access on drives. Okay, we stand on transition. Okay, immediately we go back. We don't stay here. They beat us many times on that. And after they have advantage, okay? Transition defense, we sprint. On offense, you can play point guard and call thumb. If they switch, you go get Omar on handoff. If they go step out, fast and wide, you move
here. All right, now that's here. You have the ball here, James. All right, Fab is here. All right. Fab goes down, screen. All right, he goes here, and then Jordan turn for Eve. We hit Eve. Just attack him.
Put the ball down. Put the ball down.
Well, Basel fans, there you have the QR code. Download Courtside 1891 using that QR code. Courtside 1891, where you can watch live streams and extended highlights of FIBA competitions and friendly games ahead of the 2025 FIBA AfroBasket. I think it's quite fitting when you look at Coach Alfred Aboya. Coach went to UCLA, had a very extensive international career in France, Japan, all over. and then finished in the NBA G League with the Defenders.
Yeah, I mean, Alfred can draw on a lot of experience as a player. He's done a really nice job with this team, as he does with the NBA Academy in Senegal. Great to see him developing as a coach and everything he can give back to these Cameroonian players.
Cameroon getting first possession. Will they have the same second half from the three-point line as they did in the first? Now they go straight to Missy. Archie trying to stand strong on defense. There's the reach. There's a kick out. There's a three. There's number 9, coach. Already, this team making it rain tonight.
Well, great kick out there from Missy, drawing the double team. Atiba ready to knock it down.
Obata finds Archie. He's got to go up with it. Inside the paint, kicks out. Now, did that take a deflection? I think that's going to remain Tunisia ball on the sideline.
Yeah, that was close. There were a couple of things, almost a travel there, but you see the great kick out from Missy. Great vision to know the double team was coming from the baseline side, and Atiba picking up where Cameroon left off.
Fabian Atiba now making his second three tonight. He has 6 points. Obata pulls up from 15. Just can't get it. Big rebound. Manas has a mismatch, guided by Jawadi. Atiba made his last. That time doesn't get it. Cameroon failing to come up with their 5th offensive rebound. Well, Jawadi has a bit of time and space. It's a good look for him, but he's unable to finish. Poorly timed pass because Obata would have been wide open. Obata fakes, nowhere to go. Gets it off in time, there it is. And that's gonna be a 24-second violation.
Yeah, just Tunisia a little bit out of sync there. You can see the length of Cameroon bothering them on the perimeter. Difficult for them to find any open look right now.
Well, Hill just dealing with the full court pressure. Missy has 7 points, but he's been well defended. Bumps, goes in, and that's tough, coach. That's simply too tough.
Yeah, it really is. You know he's going to want to get to that right hand. If you're Archie, I think you got to shade over there a little bit more, but he's going to draw double teams and kick out as well. It's going to be a problem for Tunisia.
9 points for Reeve Missy. It's been the three-point shooting that really has separated these two teams. Oh, nice take by Jawadi. Had it both up, and he turns it over. The foul is going to be committed. Well, Cameroon asking for an unsportsmanlike foul, but if that is not going to be upgraded, Coach, I would say it's not a bad foul at all.
Yeah, you know, I think he's legitimately trying to go for the ball there.
Well, here's the isolation. You know, Tunisia's done a good job of preventing him from having those opportunities because they've always had one player away, but that time, I mean, where has the spacing gone wrong on that defensive play?
Well, you know, I think it starts with making him finish with his left hand. So, you know, he kind of lowered his shoulder, was able to get to that strong right hand there. I think Archie's got to take an angle that forces him to go left.
Jaboya watching on. Naras goes in the paint, goes in. Simply unstoppable.
Well, and that's more Naras's game. So the physicality on display, that's a tough matchup for Tunisia. Be interesting to see if they go back to that.
The Jadia Dijon friends are going to love him next season. No doubt the Le Mans fans loved it. Obata from 18. And now silently goes up to 7 points.
Well, finally, Obata making a perimeter shot here.
Well, Bae just turning it over. And now Tunisia, they want to run. High ball screen action, Obata denies it. Finds Archie. Good take by him, but he's got to finish that one.
Yeah, he really does. Obata with a nice drop off there.
He'll cross court, good ball movement. Naras, he's had a good night so far. This team, well, the hoop has become the ocean.
You know, sometimes you just have a night, and I think Cameroon is in the middle of that for Tunisia. Maybe going back to the zone, finding some kind of way to disrupt their rhythm right now.
55% from the three-point line, 10 out of 18. Cameroon setting the standard of excellence as Obata now will go to the free throw line. Because it's very tough here for Omar Obata when you don't have Salah Medri, Makrem Ben Ramdan, of course, in the grades, but when you have to defend this man, well, those fans waving the flag, loving every moment of it.
Well, they've had a lot to love so far in this game. Cameroon firing on all cylinders here.
Well, Obata knows very well that he can't just be more than a floor general or a facilitator. He has to be a go-to player if they're going to be able to compete at this AfroBasket. Second free throw good. Well, Tima now breaking down the pressure single-handedly. Well, this has got an ISO moment. Nas has got a seal-off. They don't get the ball to him. Well, you can see Nadas infuriated with Yves Missy because, coach, he sealed off completely, and that would have been easy 2 points or a foul.
Well, and that's a matchup, you know, they had some earlier success with. It'd be interesting to see if they go back to that. You know, Missy not really a scorer in his previous roles, so.
Coming off one screen. Now trying to find Obata. Gebetkin now having to defend. This is better from Tunisia. Well, he's led the way so far, but he's unable to finish. Look at Udi left wide open. That will do their confidence a world of good, cutting it down to 12 points.
Well, that was a nice possession there for Tunisia, playing inside out, something Coach Marie has really been asking from his players.
Hey, trying to go in. Missy being boxed out. Good work by Achi. Tunisia can't cut it down to 10. Ganudi finds Obata. This is good ball movement. The ball just moving so crisp right now from the Tunisians. Jawadi in the lane, slices the defense. And all of a sudden a 5-0 run from Tunisia.
Well, great possessions here offensively. Nice seal from Achi there, keeping Missy away from blocking that shot.
And Missy just double clutched in the air, and nobody was going to stop him at that point.
That's a great pass, too, as well. But you see Missy, such a dynamic finisher as a roll man.
Sophisticated defense yet again. Jawadi turning it over. Gebetkin finding Hill. Hill gets bumped, goes in, almost converts it. And well, Shaw getting into it. Great work there by Archie, not responding because Archie just received the ball to the face.
And I thought Obata here would look to take a foul. You know, Archie, good job here of not letting him get the easy two.
Well, there was the dime. That's where Tunisia's post-interior defense is getting exploited.
Well, you know, nice job from Hill, and Hill's had a nice, I think, all-around game. You know, normally he's the dynamic scorer for this team. He's understanding right now his teammates are in a great flow, just making the simple play, the simple read.
Well, only 2 Cameroonian players currently in double figures. Nadas and Missy, and I agree with you, Coach. 4 rebounds for Jeremiah Hill. He's showing a lot of his leadership qualities. Now Missy's going to go to the bench. So Boya is going to come back into the lineup. Obata. He's trying to build something. It's been a better last few minutes here for Tunisia. But still it is a 14-point deficit. Obata pulls up from 15. Just a little too short. This is where Cameroon now feeling the confidence. Oh, another 3 goes flying. That one's not a connect, but that's going to be a foul here against Tunisia, I believe, on Ben Yahya.
Yeah, it looks like he grabbed Abois as he was trying to pursue that offensive rebound. And Tunisia just unable to sustain anything positive in this game so far.
Well, like Mednani and Achi, all 3 players have 3 fouls. 4:11 to go here in the third. Hill quick catch and shoot off the inbound. Again, sinks it. Well, he had to move quickly to get his feet set, Coach.
Well, that's the last thing you need if you're Tunisia. You know, he's been quiet with his scoring. You get him going as well. There's nothing you can really do to stop this Cameroonian team.
Well, he's got 9 tonight. He's 1 point away from becoming the third Cameroonian to get into double figures. And now he's got it in transition. Hill thinks about it, pulls up. Just a little off. And now Tunisia can get something quick. There's a pump fake, there's a foul, so will be 2 free throws coming up.
Yeah, good job of Hill, though, to get back, make him earn it from the free throw line.
Well, Giovanni's going to go to the bench. Still probably their most influential player in the game, but only 2 points here in the third quarter. Still leads the game of 16. Bachir to Ben Yahya now at the charity stripe. Second one, no good. It's a very interesting group. We saw Nigeria and Madagascar early on. Nigerian coaching staff in the building watching this game very closely, as well as the Madagascar national team coach. He kicks out. Beckham. He'll pull up. Almost long. Big rebound by Jeremiah Hill. Rebound number 5 for him. Still a 15-point lead, but a foul is going to be called, and that's going to be the 4th and final team foul against Tunisia here in the third quarter.
You know, Tunisia has used that zone against side out of bounds plays. You see them here in the man-to-man, but I think at some point they gotta try something different. See if they can change the rhythm of Cameroon here.
Well, he almost got an &1 caught in a double team, and Coach Marie calling for a traveling violation, but that's gonna be 2 free throws coming up.
You see Bois just kind of forcing his way there on the low block. But there's been a lot of favorable matchups for Cameroon.
We did move from Vanoli to Cremona to Trapani and actually helped them get qualified for the Basketball Champions League. So it'll be interesting to see if he does return next season. We'll see him in the BCL. Can't convert either free throw. Tunisia want to cut this down to single digits heading into the 4th and final quarter. It's their opening game of the 2025 FIBA AfroBasket.
We see a zone here from Cameroon.
Nice penetration, but again, failing to finish, and a foul's going to be given. I think this is on Bois. Let's have a look here. There's the shot.
Yeah, I think he maybe pulled his arm down.
Well, nice little change of direction. He's going for a tough one, way off the mark, but an offensive rebound. And there's the second chance points that Tunisia needed to convert when they had 13 offensive boards in the first half. Pick the pop in the mid-range. Tunisia now looking to go on a 2-possession run. Just over 2 minutes left. Patiently trying to build something, but time is winding down. A good denial defense by Bayet. So 3.3 left here on the shot clock. And Coach, did Tunisia maybe take just a little too long to get into a good set?
Well, you know, I think good job. Credit Cameroon's defense. They were trying to enter the post there. They felt they had a good matchup. Cameroon doing a nice job of three-quartering that, making a difficult entry.
Well, quick three by Obata. Doesn't quite get the lucky drop, but another offensive rebound. Obata attacks the defense, goes in, finishes, and now giving Tunisia that 4-0 run.
I mean, if Tunisia can find a way to cut this to single digits going into the fourth, I think the way this game has played out, they'd have to be ecstatic to be in that position given everything else.
Then how easy again with Atiba curling the screen. Almost like no force could have stopped him on that play. Now we're under 80 seconds. And that's going to be the fourth and final team foul. Neither team any fouls to give here in the last 116. There's Atiba again, and some passages where Tunisia just looked good, but then we've seen it a few times, Coach, just slightly fall asleep on defense.
They really haven't been able to sustain anything in this game, but yet it's not out of reach. So over this final minute and 16 seconds, they find a basket here with this ATO play, get this down to 9 points. I mean, they got to feel like they're still in this.
Well, timeout has been called by Cameroon. We're going to go down and see what Coach Alfred Aboya is going to try to address his plays.
So now we need to again. So when we push, we get something. Let's score. They have 5 fouls. Taking these shots, attack that guy. Also, we go to the free throw line. All right? Same thing. So they shoot the ball bounces right here. We're trying to run in transition. Secure the rebound. Secure the rebound. With Eve and Jordan back in. Roger, you here? We go 5. All right. Double. Away. Yeah, away. You have the ball right here.
Finish. Knock that bitch down.
No. Do this. Boom, he curls. Boom, it's coming. All right. You go. You continue. Eve. He use it. Boom. Fabien for you. Catch the ball here and score.
Come here. Attends.
Still leading by 13 points, Cameroon, but Alfred Aboya, I've noticed this entire game seems to be very, very even cool the whole entire game.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's done a great job preparing his guys. They've come out here really playing high-level basketball. Let's see if they can finish this out.
Remember, neither team any fouls to give. Good defense by Mute. There's a pump fake. But it dishes off and a good finish.
Yeah, really nice pass there.
He's had his struggles, Coach, but that's good for his confidence.
Well, I was going to say, you know, he's normally known as a streaky scorer, so struggled to make baskets so far.
Well, to go for another 3, now make it number 11. And if that is going to see them over the finish line tonight, and maybe here in the AfroBasket, why not keep going to it? Atiba. He made his last play. Nice little pump fake, steps through, just can't finish. And another foul is going to be given. So this will see Tunisia go to the free throw line. This might be on Baye.
Well, and this also, with the clock stopped, gives Tunisia a chance at a 2-for-1. They'll have to inbound the ball quickly if it's a made basket, but hopefully they can find something to build off of going into this fourth quarter.
The lead is probably for 90% of the game since the first quarter. Been a double-digit lead for Cameroon. The free throw struggles tonight here for Tunisia continue to persist. Well, they've missed, to my calculation, 7 free throws so far tonight. Quebec trying to find Missy on a post-up. Got time and space to go to work. Tries to go baseline, twisting, turning, and a foul has been given, so now he'll go to the free throw line.
You know, it was good defense initially from Ben Yahia. He's forcing him to his left hand. That's exactly what you want to be. And then he just goes for that little pump fake there at the end. You just got to stay disciplined through that entire possession.
And that's tough because with a player like Yves Missy, once he gets you in the paint, the elevation he possesses, you kind of feel that's why he's gone for the block. But then my question to you, Coach, and maybe there's a reason not for it. If he does get it in that paint to the middle, do you bring a double team at that point?
Well, you can see they were coming from the baseline side, the help defender expecting him to force him to that left hand. So you've got to understand what the on-ball defender is doing as well as where your help will come from.
Well, that goes out of bounds, and that will do the end of the third quarter. Cameroon leading by 13 points against Tunisia. One final quarter left, and you got to think, Tunisia not out of it, Coach, by any means.
Well, they're really not. I mean, considering how little things have gone their way throughout this game, you'd expect to look up and see them down by even more.
Well, it's actually a 14-point lead to Cameroon, so for them, just one final quarter, 10 minutes to try and seal this off. And only 3 rebounds separates these two teams. We did see for a moment there was a conversion of second chance points in which you got to fill. That plus the free throws, this could be even playing field.
Well, I mean, Tunisia's done a really nice job taking care of the ball. Only 4 turnovers versus that pressure. They just have to keep Cameroon off the free throw line defensively.
Well, they've had a great night from the perimeter so far this evening. Cameroon's three-point shooting indeed has been the difference. 50% from downtown, knocking 11 out of 22. That time you just saw it. Three-pointer beautifully tucked away by Fabian Atiba, who does have 11 points. So 3 players in double figures for Cameroon. Atiba along with Missy and their leading scorer, Williams Naras, excuse me.
We can see there really great ball movement. They've done a nice job of finding these diagonal skips, but then the extra pass to these corner shooters, and those guys have delivered all game.
There's a play by Jeremiah Hill, and usually you don't often see, due to the elite level of defense, you're able to get a good shot like that, but we're talking about Jeremiah Hill. He knows how to lose a defender when he's coming off a screen and he doesn't have the ball in his hands.
Well, he's a dynamic scorer. In this game, he's been pretty content with just setting up his teammates. You see there, Ateba knocking down another one. But he had that jump shot at the end, so he's capable of getting going. Maybe that one shot has him feeling good. Let's see if he tries to be a little more aggressive here in the fourth quarter.
Well, 10 final minutes, opening game for these two teams here in Group B. Remember, Nigeria did win against Madagascar. Both coaches from those two teams watching this closely. On a positive note for Tunisia, they will get the first possession of the fourth quarter, but they do trail by 14 points. Obata trying to get things going. Can the 2-time defending champions. Remember, they've won 3 championships in total, but looking for that three-peat. Get a good run here in the fourth quarter. Here's the man who led them, Jawadi, trying to find Obata. Kebebkin's defense making it tough. It was on target, but Baye coming up with the rebound.
Well, Marnawi really has not been able to find anything in this game. Not a clean look there from the corner.
High screen coming up, but Kebebkin not making too much use. They want to go to Missy for the ISO. Obata comes for the double. Baye down the middle. One kick. Can they go for 3, number 12? Just a little too short. Tunisia now looking to break, but not getting numbers ahead, Coach. That's been a problem for them so far.
Well, one of the rare fast break opportunities. You see Obata here throwing it away.
Well, Mute thought about going quickly. Now Kebebkin, well, offensive foul, surely, yep. Well, that was clear as daylight.
Yeah, you see Beckham here pushing off with that left hand.
Because he was only going one direction. But Tunisia need to find something quickly. They want to build some momentum, some rhythm. Bottom maybe thinking about an ISO, but kicks this one out. Final seconds. Gabepkin can argue all he wants, but coach, there was no need for the reach.
Well, you know, it's funny because it looked like there might have been a push off there from Marnawi. Like you said, a little bit of a reach there at the end gives the officials the chance to call it on him. He's just got to be disciplined there.
Tunisia getting a fresh 14. Got to find ways to get Archie involved, but another foul called. This one's on Atiba.
Well, maybe this is how Tunisia comes back into this game. So a couple early fouls here from Cameroon. Can Tunisia find a way to get to the free throw line, get some easy points, chip away at this lead?
We don't want to give away too many, as you mentioned, because then that could be the source to get him back in, as you said, slowly getting to the free throw line. Nice take. But again, no kickouts. Seconds winding down. Got to think about it. Well, nice backdoor play. But again, the rejection by Missy off the bank. And there's no way of breaking down this Cameroonian defense.
That was a really nice pass here from Abada. You see Missy there, as he has been all game, ready to clean it up. No easy baskets for Tunisia tonight.
Well, Gabepkin waiting for the ball screen. Well, Missy doesn't take many threes in the corner. Cameroon just missing the last 3 attempts. Have they cooled down? They have hit 11 tonight. Malachi trying to post up here against Missy, but they haven't identified that. Still both teams over 2 minutes. Scoreless here in the 4th and final quarter. Can they get something? Kutay Towers for the rebound.
Again, Marnawi not really able to find a rhythm on the perimeter.
Abada knew the screen was coming. But again, it's just an unforced turnover by Cameroon. Coach, we played 2 minutes and 36 seconds and still no field goals. And Tunisia's tasting the game.
Well, you know, Tunisia's got to find a way to put points on the board. Like you said, opportunity here to chip away. Cameroon a little bit sloppy. You know, I think it started too. Eve Missy's corner 3, sort of an indication, maybe a little too loose to begin this 4th quarter. But Tunisia unable to put points on the board.
Well, what can happen from this high ball screen? Abada's got to be a little bit more creative. Now they have the switch. Hill trying to stand strong. There's a kick out. Jawadi down the middle. Finds Abada. And that's going to be a traveling violation. Well, these 2 teams actually did a magnificent job throughout this game of, you know, preventing turnovers, but I think we're going to have a timeout. But this goes in Cameroon's favor, Coach. They got a 14-point lead, almost 3 minutes, and nobody scored here in the 4th.
Well, you know, that's it. I mean, Tunisia finally finds a way to get some stops on the board, and then they can't capitalize on the other side. Cameroon's length on the perimeter has really bothered Tunisia all game long. They've had a hard time finding open 3-point looks, and when they have driven those closeouts, there's been Missy waiting for them every single time.
And when Cameroon have a strength that maybe I haven't spoken about enough, you've alluded to it quite a lot in this game. You know, I've gone on about the 3-point shooting, 11 3-point field goals made. Defensively, Coach, they're tough to break down.
Well, they really are. I mean, they've got length on the perimeter. Those guys have done a nice job being aggressive in their closeouts. And then their rim protection's been outstanding. So anytime Missy's on the floor, you know, you're a little apprehensive to go all the way to the rim. You've heard Coach Mari a couple of times in their timeouts imploring his players to drive and kick. But it takes several driving kicks to really break down the perimeter for Cameroon.
Well, fans, you just saw that QR code in the bottom left corner. Use that QR code and download the official FIBA AfroBasket app. Download it on your smartphone, your tablet, or Android, and get the best news, highlights, and content that matter to you most. Well, Jeremiah Hill, as you mentioned, had a magnificent season for Alain Chalon in France. And, you know, quiet game on scoring, but, Coach, you said it. I agree. He's had a great game tonight.
Yeah, I think he's really played within himself, done what his team has needed from him. You know, they've been a little A little stagnant here in the fourth quarter. Maybe this is time for him to step up his scoring.
Now looking at the zone. Missy going in. Can't finish. Big offensive rebound by Mute. And now caught a double team. Finds Naras. Goes in. 16 points. Well, he's leading this country tonight in their opening game in the FIBA AfroBasket. And coach, almost 3.5 minutes, no buckets.
Naras has been tremendous, doing it inside and out, finding the opportunistic drop off there.
Well, about to look for a kick out, but that's going to remain Tunisia ball on the baseline. Well, nobody can question that Tunisia haven't played hard tonight. They've played hard. I mean, they've out-rebounded Cameroon for the majority of this game. But as you said, they just haven't had that consistency on the offense.
Yeah, I think it's been hard, too, the way Cameroon started from the perimeter, shooting at such a high clip from three. Sometimes it just takes the spirit out of you. They've got to continue to compete here. Still not out of this game.
Well, nice dime finding Naras, and now he goes up to 18 points, but what vision from Jeremiah Hill.
Well, that's a tremendous pass there from Hill. Obviously, Naras, a great cutter. Hill having eyes on him the whole time there.
Cameroon switching the ball screens. Jeremiah Hill having to match up. Again, those switches, Cameroon, they can afford that at the moment. Now looking to extend. Mute, 3 number 12, doesn't get it. Goes out of bounds, but I think Tunisia will get this back.
Yeah, you know, the aggressive switching from Cameroon's really caused some problems. You see here, though, Hill with the outstanding court vision. Naras, a great cutter, finding the seam there in the defense. Abada caught napping on the weak side.
Tamane Cho checking into the game. So Mute going to the bench for Cameroon. Tunisia still scoreless, almost halfway, and they haven't had a field goal yet. There's Abada, and again another big rebound coming from Missy.
Yeah, it just hasn't been Abada's night. Tough finish there for him. Something he normally, I think, would put in the basket.
Well, Naras misses the dunk, gets his own rebound. Coach, he may have missed a flush, but he gets a rebound and he gets 20 points.
Well, credit to Naras. I mean, this is what he normally does. A great cutter. Good pass there from Hill. He wanted the highlight dunk there, but stayed with the play. Still came up with the 2 points.
Well, he got his third rebound, and actually his only offensive rebound on that play. But you got to think here, what is going on with Tunisia? They haven't scored yet, and we played over 5 minutes here in the fourth quarter.
Well, credit to Cameroon. The length from the perimeters really bothered Tunisia. They've had a hard time finding open threes, and I think they're a little apprehensive to try to attack those closeouts, knowing that Missy is waiting there at the rim for them every time.
I mean, they had 19 offensive rebounds so far in this game. I mean, they've been deflated so far here in the first part of the fourth quarter, but you look at this team, things are working well with Jawadi and Archie. Archie was causing problems in the first half, but Coach, I feel like they just haven't offensively found a way to get him involved. There's no post entries, there's no double block post up. I mean, surely that's got to be a part they've got to think to improve in the next coming games against Madagascar and Nigeria.
Well, you know, they've struggled with their shooting. I mean, typically if you have 19 offensive rebounds, you know, only 7 turnovers, you would expect a good offensive production from your team.
Well, he's had a magnificent game, that man. I tell you what, we've seen him play in black and orange for Le Mans in France, but I'm telling you, in navy blue and white, he's going to be great when he goes to Jadea Dijon.
Well, Naras has come to play. It started with those first threes, but, you know, as I mentioned then, he's really known more as a slasher, cutter, and you've seen that on display since he knocked down those shots.
Unforced turnover, and that is going to be turnover number 8 for Tunisia. And it's almost like the confidence has been completely wiped clean of this team.
And Ganouni, sort of a self-inflicted error there, just nothing going Tunisia's way.
Well, deep three goes flying. It may have gone cold. Nadas picks up his 5th rebound. 5 away from a double-double. Got 20. Confidence flying high. Hill's got to think about something. Final seconds. Hill puts up a tough one. Are you kidding me? And now becoming the 4th player for Cameroon in double figures.
Well, he's got a big smile on his face after that one. That's as tough as they come.
Cameroon at the moment sending a message to everybody here at the FIBA AfroBasket. Jawadi still can't score. The big rebound has been secured. Cho comes up with it, and he gets fouled in the process. And that's going to be Tunisia's first team foul here in the 4th quarter.
Well, I don't know if I've seen a shutout in a 4th quarter ever, but Cameroon really impressive with their defense. You see here, Hill with the difficult pull-up 3.
I mean, had they called the foul there, that foul would have been on the ground. Now goes for another one. Big rebound. 2nd offensive ball for Nadas. This time Jawadi diving on the ground, and that's going to be a jump ball. I believe that actually is going to go back to Cameroon because, if I'm correct, Coach, Tunisia had first possession of the 4th quarter, if I'm correct. I could be wrong there.
No, I think you're right.
Because we don't have a possession. I think, yeah, they've signaled we don't have a possession arrow. For those Cameroonian fans, well, this could be their FIBA AfroBasket. It's been a long time since 1997 when they came 2nd place. Now that's wants the ISO. Wants to play a bit of bully basketball, but kicks out. Well, going for the step through shot is up, no good. Goes out of bounds, but Cameroon again. Nadas thinks about it, takes it. And Tunisia, can they get the first bucket? Nadas goes. And there's their first 2 points of the 4th quarter. And it took over 7 minutes, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, tremendous defense throughout this quarter. A little transition opportunity there for Tunisia, but hasn't been as productive offensively for Cameroon. So Tunisia, you know, had a chance if they could have found a way to score to climb back into this game.
Well, foul in the process, so it's going to be 3 free throws coming up. I like about their offense here with so many of these Cameroonian players where they've, you know, had a very great night from the 3-point line, but Fabian Atiba's just sit comfortably in the corner waiting for penetrations and kickouts because, I mean, he's had so many good looks tonight.
Yeah, I mean, the Cameroonian guards have done a really nice job penetrating, finding kickouts to these shooters. They just have to be patient, you know, space the floor in the corner. The ball has found them throughout this game.
Well, Baye is going to leave the game. And Yaga coming back in. Well, lots to think about for this team. Of course, they have many more games coming up, but Atiba actually started his career back in 2010 with the U21 program with Hier Toulon. So he spent some time playing in the lower divisions of France, but hasn't really had that consistent run in Pro A. And nonetheless, extending their lead. 22-point lead to Cameroon. Well, Ganouni going in, now getting the second field goal for Tunisia here in the 4th quarter, but I think it's fair to say it might just be a little too late at the moment.
Well, that's a rare, easy basket for Tunisia.
Seal off down low. Good turnaround. Boy, can't finish. Still Tunisia having to deal with the pressure, turning it over. Hill comes up with it, throws it down. Jeremiah Hill with a one-handed flush.
And you see the big smile to the Cameroonian crowd. They love that.
And missing the layup. Well, if you're Cameroon, you want to keep on scoring. Remember, you want as big a points difference. Knowing Nigeria had a big win today against Madagascar.
No, you're absolutely right. And I don't see any let-up from Cameroon right now.
Final seconds here. Cho penetrates. Finds a Bois in the corner. He's on target but can't finish. Now we're under 90 seconds to go.
looks like, too, we might see an appearance from Sene, the young 18-year-old center for Cameroon. Averaged 15 rebounds per game at the Under-19 World Championships, getting his debut here with the men's national team.
And also Valentin Lele checking into the game. Actually, one of the few players on this team who currently plays in Cameroon. Currently playing for Kaji Sport Academy. And there's the dunk by Jeremiah. The steal, the dunk. That is simply Jeremiah doing Jeremiah things. Now we reach the under-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. Cameroon's been excellent right from the get-go. Foul has been given. It's only going to be the 13th foul. You got to feel for these Tunisian players because it's almost like the tide, not that it was changing, but became more competitive after they won the AfroBasket back in Kigali in 2021, because when we moved into the 2023 FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifiers, all of a sudden, Tunisia could be beat.
Well, you know, they've lost a lot of their veteran leadership. Ben Ramdan, you know, Slimane as well. Like, these are guys who have been in the trenches for a long time. So it puts a lot of pressure on Abada to try to lead this team. I'm sure he's going to get in that locker room and express to his guys what's going to be needed from them as they move forward in this group.
Sideline ball, final foul given away by Tunisia. Cho getting the ball screen. Now finds the gap, goes for a fadeaway. This time can't finish. Achi coming up with a rebound. Makanuni, likewise, as we said for Cameroon, if you're Tunisia, you want to keep on scoring. Minimize the deficit as much as possible. Who knows? Things can change. Could these two teams potentially head on a tiebreaker? That's why you've got to keep scoring. Kanuni's got to take this. And an offensive foul is going to be called against Achi.
Yeah, I think they got him hooking there. The officials have really been all over those calls in this game.
Well, Achi and Abwe just having a few words. I think Abwe's like, listen, I got the call, I don't care. Well, final seconds. If you're wondering why Cameroon's going to try to score, it's all about points difference. Lele makes a dive. No foul, a foul has been given. So free throws coming up for Cameroon.
Well, and this could be the first points for young Amadou Sene. Really had a tremendous tournament at the under-19s in Switzerland. 15 rebounds per game. One of the up-and-coming talents for this Cameroon national team.
Because they had that exciting game against France in that under-19 World Cup that took place in Switzerland only a few months ago. But it's like what we saw with South Sudan in 2023. Young Malawach making his debut as the youngest player ever. And you saw where he is today. You know, drafted in the NBA, but after a very successful time with Duke University. And that's what international basketball is all about. And a big shout out to Next Gen Hoops, giving a big platform for these young and upcoming players. Well, it's going to be a lane violation, so another free throw. You can see the Cameroonian players on the bench wanting the young fella to get that free throw.
Yeah, they really do. It's great to see them supporting him. They know what it's like to be a young player debuting on the big stage.
There you have it. Well, Basel fans, terrific win. A big opener for these two teams in Group B as Cameroon win 86-65. That wraps up Group B tonight. Both Nigeria and Cameroon getting decisive victories. And coach, this Cameroonian team, they look good. It's been a long time since 1997, losing in the AfroBasket final to Angola. Maybe, just maybe, it's Cameroon's time.
Well, I really like this roster. You know, had a chance to speak with Coach Aboya before the start of this game. He felt good about what they were bringing. And certainly if they can shoot the ball from three the way they did in this game, it's going to be really difficult for teams to match up with their size and length at every other position.
Well, defensively, the rotations, the rim protection, but also coming up with loose balls and, you know, trying to convert everything at the transition points. I'd say one area that maybe they're going to have to learn quickly here in the group stage. They cannot be a team coach that lives and dies by the three-point line.
Well, 29 attempts, but most of them were good looks. I think they obviously were shooting incredibly well in the first half, but balanced that with great attack from the perimeter off the dribble. I think Jeremiah Hill especially, really nice job of creating for his teammates, scoring when he needed to score, but a balanced attack from their entire team.
Well, it's Cameroon's time tonight. Of course, more games to come here in Luanda and Namibia. Remember, there's also another game that will be going on later this evening. A big congratulations to the Cameroonian players for picking up a very big and decisive victory tonight. But the other game that will be going on as Cape Verde will be taking on the Congo DR. That game is currently heading into the second quarter, taking place in Group A in Namibia. So if you are watching courtside, you can watch over or change over and watch that game. But big performance tonight from Nadas, finishing just shy of a double-double. But Jeremiah Hill, to me tonight, it looked like he wanted to get everybody involved.
Yeah, I really like Jeremiah Hill's game. 4 assists, 5 rebounds to go along with 14 points and an efficient 14 points. So a lot of players stepping out for Cameroon in this game. A lot of firepower there as they move forward in the tournament.
And it's only the first game, so the Tunisian fans, like I said, you do have games against Madagascar and Nigeria. Anything can change. Of course, it was a long journey for them. I was on the same flight as them from Morocco in the layover, so I can see they arrived at the same time as me, of course. But that's how it goes here in any continental competition. You got to play your first game, coach. You know this better than me, of course, and you've got to be able to adapt to how the game goes on. Well, here are some of the top highlights from the fourth quarter. Of course, Missy having a fantastic season in the NBA with the New Orleans Pelicans, but this was a collective effort tonight. It's for sure not a one-man show, and Nadas, he will take honors, most likely as the player of the game for Cameroon. But Coach, I'll say it again, exciting times for this national team.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got to feel great about their performance in this first game. See Jeremiah Hill here with a really tough three-pointer, and of course the fans celebrating that. But we got to see everything on display from Cameroon. Missy, obviously, huge contribution, but the normal stalwarts for them playing really well.
Well, that last bucket you just saw was the first field goal after 7 minutes in the fourth quarter for Tunisia. But there was the Jeremiah Hill moments coming up with it. And now leading Cameroon in the backcourt.
Great finish there, their bench celebrating. And they've got to feel good going into this tournament, having to face the defending champions first game. Sometimes you're not sure how your team will respond, but Cameroon definitely answered the bell.
Well, there you see it. Nigeria winning as well as Cote d'Ivoire, and Cameroon winning. Now remember, it's the second quarter of Congo DR versus Cape Verde. That game is taking place in Namibia. So if you are watching a courtside 1891, you can switch over and watch that game. But for now, tonight here in Luanda, Angola, the 2025 FIBA AfroBasket, it's a very good night from myself, Josh Bett, and Will Voigt. We'll see you tomorrow for more games.